Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Ellen's economics correspondent. Each week, I dive into the mores of top economic news stories and fish out compelling narratives, or I retrieve fallacies that have been accepted as conventional wisdom by the swamp creatures for years. This week, is a recession in the works? Goldman Sachs has joined the chorus of financial institutions, market analysts, and regional U.S. central banks in cutting first quarter gross domestic product forecasts and even raising the odds of a recession. The Wall Street Titan trimmed its growth projections to 0.5%, down from the previous estimate of 1%. It also raised its odds of a recession to 35%. But Goldman Sachs is not the only institution to sound the recession alarm. A growing number of investment banks and economists are beginning to see signs that a potential economic downturn could be building up. Geltrude & Company founder Dan Geltrude recently told Fox Business that the United States is on track for a full-blown recession within the next 12 months, driven by skyrocketing energy prices. Campbell Faulkner, Senior Vice President OTC Global Holdings, also told the Business News Network that the United States is already seeing the start of a recession. He said, quote, "I'll be blunt, I'm basically a data scientist and I work in commodities, and I think we're already in one. I just think because of the lags in the data, we're not going to see it yet." Mark Zandi, the chief economist at Moody's Analytics, thinks there is a 1 in 3 chance of a recession in the next 12 to 18 months. Bill Gross, the co-founder of PIMCO, believes a recession is inevitable. But even if the United States economy does not contract, it is widely expected that the country would experience at least a bout of stagflation, a period of stagnant economic growth and high inflation. This might seem more likely when looking at various estimates since the Ukraine invasion. For example, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's GDP Now model estimates first quarter growth at 0.5%. The Philadelphia Fed Bank's Median Now estimate stands at 1.3%. The highest forecast comes from Trading Economics, which is calling for 1.9% growth in the January to March period. This was almost an inevitability when realizing that Main Street and Wall Street have been hooked on the sauce cooked in Jerome Powell's kitchen. The economy and the finance sector need ultra-low interest rates and asset purchases to survive and thrive. Without eternal stimulus, the euphoria will likely dissipate, sending a marketplace with 40-year high inflation into a further decline. However, critics will say that this is all poppycock because of how strong the fourth quarter GDP was. But while it was an impressive number, it was only high because of inventory restocking, which accounted for approximately 2/3 of the final reading. That said, considering that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, the woman who rejected inflation and then dismissed inflation as transitory, is saying she does not expect a recession, so perhaps it is time to prepare for an economic downturn. Remember, despite 4-decade high inflation, real wage growth is falling, and a military conflict between the Ukraine and Russia, she thinks, quote, "Americans have been doing pretty well." That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column on LibertyNation.com, where I discuss nickel prices, the great stagflation, a digital US dollar, and so much more. Thank you.
We're doing it for real, really real. Liberty Nation.
And Jeff Charles, contributor for
I think
LibertyNation.com.
we're starting to make an impact. Liberty style, fight for freedom.
The tracking poll sponsored by Liberty Nation for
Guess what?
Thursday.
Mentioned by Dan Bongino, Rasmussen, Jordan Peterson, and
I
others.
can do it again if you want me to.
Cited in Mark Levin's American Marxism.
I think we're starting to make a really big impact. Get noticed. We're doing it. Rock on. I'm gone.